Hey everybody, this is Christine with Mama's Munchkin Vlog. I want to thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. And I want to tell you before the video gets started to not forget to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and I'm going to talk today about the importance of home modifications for people with disabilities. This topic is an old topic that's on the blog, and I thought it was important to make a video about. So we are going to jump right into it and talk to you today about what a home modification is, why they're important for people with disabilities, and why they're not home renovations. Now, this last one, I have to tell you that a lot of people have talked to me about how they feel like home modifications are home renovations, and home renovations are not the same thing as home modifications. So I wanted to make sure to make that a point in today's video. I know that that is also a point that I make in the blog, but I want to talk about how they are not home renovations and they are very important to people with disabilities. So home modifications are actually changes that are made to a person with a disability's home so that they can live more independently there. And the thing about home modifications is to know that home modifications are really individualized to the specific person with a disability. If a home modification is completed and it's not specific to that person with a disability and it's not safe and functional for that person, then it's not a home modification that is going to work for that person. You know, we think a lot about modifications that are done outside in the community, and I just wanted to say that home modifications really have to be individualized, and you really have to work with the person with a disability that is getting the modification done, if you are the contractor working on that project, to make that modification work for the person with the disability, because if it doesn't work, then it might look beautiful, but it really needs to be functional to increase their independence. So again, home modifications are not home renovations. They are not things that are done out of luxury by the homeowner with a disability, right? Modifications are made to a home to increase or make the home accessible. These are things that are needed to live in the home independently. They are different, like I was saying in the slides before, they are different for each person, and they are not completed for luxury. So if you know somebody, or if you are a realtor and the person needs a home modification and they tell you they need a home modification, please don't assume that that person is asking for that modification as a luxury. That person needs it for basic needs of living in a home. And so home modifications also have benefits for other people other than the person with the disability. And the other people that the home modifications benefit or are the person's family members. So home modifications offer peace of mind to family members because the home modification makes the home safer for people with disabilities. Not only can we, as people with disabilities, move around our homes more independently, but they being the home modification makes the home safer for the family member with the disability, so that other family members can feel at ease about that person's safety, about that person's independence. As a result, the person with the disability is going to be more positive in the fact that they can achieve things for themselves, and the family members will see positive results in the simple fact that the person with the disability has modifications done in their home to fit their needs, right? So home modifications also increase our independence and our self-esteem. I talked a little bit about how home modifications increase independence, and if you've not been to the channel before, or you have been to the channel before, you'll notice that when I talk about people with disabilities, I talk a lot about independence, and I talk about a lot about abilities. So home modifications really help increase our independence in our homes, which also helps us understand that our abilities are also increased, right? It increases our self-esteem. All of these things put together also increase our confidence. There is more of a focus, in my opinion, on abilities when you have home modifications completed, because obstacles are no longer present for that person with a disability, and they can focus on accomplishing tasks, right? So that's super important to know. So home modifications help increase a person with a disability's safety. Remember before I was saying that home modifications aren't home renovations, and they are really there for people with disabilities to increase independence. They're also there to increase a person's safety, right? They increase the functionality of areas for that person with a disability to feel like they can move around more independently on their own. That also increases the person with the disability's functionality. And I know, again, going back to what I'm saying before, I know that some people wouldn't think about the word functionality and disability together, but one of my focuses for this channel is for you guys, whoever is watching this, to really focus on the abilities of a person with a disability. And so home modifications really, help make that obstacle that we have, or that limitation, that much more less, so that we can focus on abilities. And then because we have the abilities to do other things, like like take showers independently maybe, or get into our homes independently, or maybe we're going to cook independently, we're able to enjoy more activities. And that's also where we can enjoy activities with our families. Maybe we enjoy cooking with our families, and if we have an accessible kitchen, that makes it all that much more easier for us to be able to participate with our families more independently. So greater access to the world around us. And I know this sounds kind of like a blanket statement, but it really isn't, because due to the fact that we have home modifications in place in our homes, it allows us to focus on having different experiences out in society, right? And in a few minutes, I'm going to talk about how people with disabilities, we deserve to live in our communities. Home modifications help us do that, and home modifications allow us the ability, there I go with that word again, ability, to experience things out within our community. They help us increase our social interaction with people outside our home, and again, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier, even inside our home. They give us the opportunity to learn about different things, right? We're learning more about the resources that are available for us to be more independent within our communities, and learn about new things maybe that we want to do within our communities because of the accessibility that's available to us. So problem solving skills. People with disabilities, we are problem solvers because we have obstacles that we face daily that we need to overcome. Home modifications helps us increase our problem solving skills because we can help figure out what modifications will work for us. We assess the space around us, we think about our limitations and what we need to kind of compensate in specific areas. We help create plans to accomplish those specific tasks. And then again, it's important for us to know what resources are available in our communities to help us do those things, right? So that's a great way that we get to increase our problem skills or problem solving skills. And again, self-confidence, self-esteem, these are all other themes that are hopefully running through the video for you. That's what I want you guys to get from here. But if we have increased problem solving skills, then we have increased self-confidence in our abilities, increased self-esteem, and so we are more likely to try to do other things that we may be interested in. So an increased feeling of dignity. There's nothing better than to be able to take care of yourself independently, and home modifications helps us do that. The home modifications allow us more flexibility in what we need to do in our daily tasks. Remember earlier I was mentioning that home modifications are really there to help us accomplish our daily tasks. When you think, and going off topic just like half a hair, I think about how the Americans with Disabilities Act leveled the playing field for people with disabilities in society. I feel like home modifications level the playing field for people with disabilities in their own homes, right? So it allows us that satisfaction that we can do things on our own. Again, focusing on those abilities, not worrying so much about who's going to be home to help me do X, Y, and Z, because now I have home modifications in my home. It's going to increase my flexibility on what I am able to do, right? And then again, mentioning that independence, because for me, that's one of the biggest things about home modifications is independence. And so it feels great, and it makes you so proud of yourself, to know that you can take care of your daily needs with home modifications. And then increasing your ability to live in your community. I mentioned this briefly earlier, but it is so important, and people with disabilities have a total right to live within our community, to live within the communities they choose, live around family, live around friends, whatever they choose to do. Home modifications is one of the things that makes that possible for them. Home modifications, because of the fact that we have them in place, we're able to increase our interaction within our communities, right? Interaction with other people. Again, thinking about what causes are important to us. What do we want to get involved in? Maybe in our communities. Maybe we just want to be able to go to the library, maybe, or a museum, or go to the grocery store. It really helps us have that community interaction piece more available to us. And most importantly, it really helps decrease isolation, which is so important for all people, and especially people with disabilities. So wrapping up, home modifications help people with disabilities feel more comfortable and free in their own spaces, right? We're able to freely move around. Home modifications really help lead to increased experiences within society, within our own spaces, and within the world around us, and with the people that we love. Speaking of the people we love, home modifications really have benefits for the family members that love us. It helps them know we are in safe spaces and that we can do things independently. Home modifications, which I did not mention earlier, but I should really mention now, really lower the probability of accidents within our homes, which increases our safety, which is also so important. And please, please, please remember that home modifications are not renovations. Home modifications are modifications or changes to an individual's home that they need so that they can complete daily tasks. They are not luxury options that we're going to pick or we're going to have implemented in our home. They are for our safety. They are for our independence, right? And they're for us to be able to complete daily tasks like persons without disabilities. So I really hope you found this information and this video helpful. If you did so, please hit the like button. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and you can find us on social media. The links are on this slide, and I'll post them in the description box below. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you next time.